Alright, YouTube, what's going on with y'all boys? It's your boy KeeReacts coming at y'all boys with a brand new video. And today, we got that boy 1090 Jake done dropped something for us to tune into, you know what I'm saying? See what happened, you know. He always got the tea, he always exposing some or somebody. And I think this dude named King BRIZZ. I don't know who this is. But I ain't gonna talk y'all heads out too much. I already know. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into this video. Goddamn. Goddamn.
If you've been rocking with me for a while, you've likely seen King BRIZZ.
Nope.
As he and I were both at the same prison at the same time, but we didn't know each other. While in confinement, which is the prison within the prison, I heard BRIZZ rapping and singing from behind his cell door. The whole dorm was quiet from start to finish, and I immediately knew he had talent. But that one time was the only time we'd be around each other.
I was about to say, how in the hell?
A mutual friend named Brando would connect us while BRIZZ was still in prison. Brando, along with a few others I'd been in prison with, would all vouch for BRIZZ as not only being on that, but being a genuine good person. I'd hear his story, how while in prison, BRIZZ's little brother was murdered.
Oh, damn.
BRIZZ would be released
but look though, real quick, people don't tell y'all about that. They say, oh yeah, I went down, I stayed down when I was in jail. I ain't broke, I ain't tell. I ain't tell you their mama died. They ain't tell you their little brother died. They done lost contact with this, that, and the third. Out of sight, out of mind, but you still feel the pain on the outside.
After, he'd be arrested for murder.
Damn.
Charged with killing his brother's alleged killer. The news would paint a story of revenge, and the story would get even crazier when all charges against BRIZZ were dropped due to lack of evidence.
A Fort Myers man accused of murdering a father in South Lee County back in May is now back on our streets. Abraham Rivera was released from jail this week. He was initially charged with second-degree murder, accused of shooting and killing Eddie Powell Jr. at the Island Park Shopping Center off of 41. Investigators painted the act as a form of vengeance following an ongoing dispute between the two. We are still working to find out why the case against Rivera was dropped.
I wasn't even thinking of YouTube at the time. This was something out of a movie, or something that should become one. This was the life story every rapper wished they had, and everyone in BRIZZ's circle knew the potential he had. Back in 2020, I dropped a 19-minute video on BRIZZ, his music, and his story.
Young 1090.
To be in prison and hear your life story was being shared, and you were amassing new fans, to hear your channel hit 1,000 subscribers in only a few hours, it must have been pure motivation for him to get out and take off in the music industry. He'd message me on JPay, a prison email system, showing appreciation, and me and BRIZZ would establish our own friendship as time went on.
That's real.
I'd communicate with his mother as she ran his social media while he was incarcerated. And 6 months after the first video, I'd make an update after his mom told me he was stabbed 15 times.
Damn.
The video would keep his name ringing, and not long after, I thought I'd send him a surprise. Back in 2020, you could pay no jumper $85 to listen and review your music, so I decided to send him BRIZZ's song from prison, Silent Treatment. House Phone and Cam Girl would love the song, and I'd send the clip over to BRIZZ's mom so she could tell BRIZZ they just played his song on one of the biggest hip-hop channels on YouTube.
That's some real shit though.
Like I said, me and him never officially...
I was about to say, they never met, but he doing this, he going out his way. That's some real shit. And that's crazy that he got to sit right here and expose him though. That's crazy as fuck. But hey, every dog's got to have his day.
Hey, and he'd always show appreciation for what I was doing for him.
That's wild.
But his affiliation would later cause conflict.
His affiliation?
King BRIZZ was a self-admitted, documented member of the Latin Kings. It was easy to see some of the people in his group wanted to reap the benefits of his talents, and because he was king, they felt as if they deserved to be the only ones he collabed with. This would lead to a failed prison YouTuber named King Domi. Domi would claim nobody knows BRIZZ how he knows BRIZZ, and that I was just trying to use his name for views, the same views that he wanted. What Domi's dumbass failed to realize was it was BRIZZ himself who wanted to be on my platform,
Bro,
And the only
when
reason
1090 Jake be snapping on folks like real quick, that shit be killing me, bro. It be killing me. He says, look, his little dumbass.
I even did it was as a favor to our mutual friend.
Aggressive.
But in my eyes, if Domi's a king, he's a reflection of BRIZZ. And if BRIZZ can't get him to shut the fuck up, then Queen Domi will be the reason it all falls apart. So I took BRIZZ's videos down. It wasn't until later speaking with BRIZZ when he said fuck Domi, he doesn't even fuck with him. And as time went on, I'd eventually put the videos back up. Domi would fade himself out after being exposed for multiple things like kidnapping his own girlfriend and kid, and stealing money from the same king that made him a king while that king was in jail because Domi was homeless. But back to the main story.
Damn.
Me and BRIZZ would be back on good terms after it was clear he was doing his own thing and his affiliation wasn't playing a part in his soon-to-be career. BRIZZ wouldn't be released until October of 2022, and 3 months later, we'd meet up for the first time.
Damn, so you was talking for 2 years while in
Both
prison.
BRIZZ and Brando would fly up to Boston when we hit the club and casino. It was often asked of me to manage BRIZZ, start a record company, etc., but it wasn't something I wanted to do or something I felt like I had the time to invest in. What I did say is I'll put him on however I can. BRIZZ and Brando both offered money on multiple occasions for me to post him, but I never took it. I never actually profited off anything aside from the videos that I created, and I took pride in that.
Okay.
It's often asked what positive things I do with my platform, and to me, this was
But
one.
I think everything he does, for the most part, I'm not on 1090 Jake like that. I ain't gonna lie. But for the most part, I feel like exposing people who claim to live a certain lifestyle that they're not really living, saying that they're this street, they're that street, they're the biggest savage, but you told, you stole, or you just did this, that, and the third. I feel like that needs to be brought to the light so you don't mislead the youth. They sit right here thinking he is super savage, but he told. He told. So it's like, bro, you can do what you want to do. You could rap, you could trap, you could do whatever you want to do, but you ain't got to live how this person claims to be living because they telling.
Prison with talent and helping them find success. Smaller channels all wanted to interview BRIZZ, knowing it wouldn't be long before he blew, but I told him don't do it. The biggest mistake I saw people make was jumping on every channel they can, repeating the same story instead of waiting. I only did an interview with Lockdown 23-1. My next interview would be years later on No Jumper, and in a day it hit 1 million views. That interview currently sits at 6.5 million and is one of No Jumper's biggest interviews in recent years.
Damn.
So I gave BRIZZ advice and he took it. That, and I had also already put him in contact with Adam22 to get him a No Jumper interview. But before the interview would take place, BRIZZ was back in jail. He'd be charged with trafficking cocaine and fentanyl, along with weed and paraphernalia, after being pulled over in a car with 3 other people. Allegedly, the person who the drugs belonged to threw them in the back seat where BRIZZ sat after being pulled over. From what I heard, the charges against BRIZZ would be dropped when the person who actually owned the drugs stepped up and claimed them. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. While in jail, BRIZZ would be rearrested for punching someone in the face, resulting in dude's teeth being pushed back into his mouth. BRIZZ would end up serving 1 year in county over this incident. Once back out, I had an interview with DJ Academics planned, and I invited BRIZZ knowing it would be a good look for him to get next to Academics. Brando, BRIZZ, and 2 of BRIZZ's people would come to Brooklyn, where we'd run into Tony Yayo at a hotel. BRIZZ would meet Academics, and we'd hit Stylists where I lied at the club, saying he was my artist just to get him in the picture with me that they wanted to put on the celebrity wall.
This nigga's putting you on, bro. Oh my God. I know. He gonna keep it gangsta. He gonna keep it G. But I know he gotta feel some certain type of way that you went all out of your way. You stayed 100. You did all that you could. Never took from this person. Did everything you were supposed to do. And they broke the law. You broke the law, the code in which niggas stand by.
I took Brando's word that BRIZZ was good people, and this being the second time we'd met, I agreed. so I was willing to put him on off the strength. For the second time, I tried to set him up with a no jumper interview. Adam would agree and dates were set, but yet again, BRIZZ would be back in jail and I'd have to let no jumper know for the second time it had to be canceled. At this point, he was fucking my face up. And the reason he was back in jail? Apparently, he went to an Airbnb with some females who didn't even rent the Airbnb, but broke into the lockbox and got the keys, so they all ended up charged with burglary.
Damn!
I'd speak with Brando telling him I fuck with BRIZZ, but I'm gonna cut ties as far as business goes, as he didn't seem to be taking anything serious.
Because he went to jail, got out, and was still on the same shit that he was on that got him locked up in the first place. Bro, I ain't gonna cap, bro. When you got opportunities like this, bro, you have to change. You have to force yourself to change. Like, say you in the hood, you doing what you do, you make money off stealing cars. But you rapping though. As soon as you sign that deal, you're supposed to stop stealing cars, because not only could you get caught up for the shit that you used to do, you still doing shit as you're going through a elevation period in your life. You're gonna fuck it up. And it's too many times we see rappers get signed, go to jail, get signed, or get killed because they still hanging where they used to be at. You cannot do the same shit you used to do when you go into a new place. And if you always looking in your rearview mirror, you will never get to where you're trying to go. You got to look forward. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. But it can be done. I've seen it be done. Hundreds of people are doing it. And it's not just rappers. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that because he's a rapper. But it could be whatever, bro. Your content could start taking off. You can get a job at a 5-star restaurant. You want to be a chef. You around a different type of crowd, a different type of people, bro. Just play the rapper role. You already got a resume. You supposed to go off of your resume. You're not supposed to try to start doing stuff now to solidify yourself. It literally sounds like you got a blessing, but you wasn't ready for it. That's what it sounded like to me.
I hated everything I've done, but actions speak louder than words, and he'd keep getting arrested for dumb shit. The exact reason I didn't want to manage him in the first place, it would have been a financial loss. BRIZZ would once again be freed, so we said fuck it. After 2 failed attempts to get him on No Jumper, I'm gonna interview him and bring him on my platform. This wasn't my first interview, as I did Zoom interviews in the past, but this was the first high quality interview after passing 1 million subscribers. Ooh. Me and Brando both knew it needed to be done quick because, as history shows, BRIZZ most likely wasn't gonna last 6 months without finding himself in a cell. So BRIZZ and Brando came back to Boston. At some point, like, nigga, do you want to be free? They went back to Florida and the views were going up. This was pretty much BRIZZ's first and biggest interview. Things were looking great. He continued to drop music and, more importantly, continued to stay free. 2 months would pass when mass rapper Millies told me he'd be in St. Pete. I'd sent Millies BRIZZ's music before, and Millies said he was down to do a song, so I hit up BRIZZ and told him to come with me. BRIZZ would bring Kodak.
Now seeing that little that jail photo, bro, I think I did see him freestyling in jail. I don't remember what he said, but I do remember his face now. That's crazy.
His cousin G1, who I also spoke with about possibly interviewing, and BRIZZ and Millies would speak in person on getting a song done. See, to me, we were just hanging out and networking, which is key to the business. I was the one getting BRIZZ into the right rooms, and all of this was done off the strength. We'd known each other for 4 years at this point, but this was only our 4th time linking up in person, and unexpectedly, everything was about to change. The DMs started coming in, then the comments. Paperwork had made its way to YouTube alleging BRIZZ snitched in not 1, but 2 cases. I'd call him asking if he'd seen it before getting off the phone and sending him the link. He'd laugh it off, saying he'd put me in contact with his co-defendants, but I told him go live and explain it instead. I'd keep telling him to confront the situation, but he'd say he'd clear it up at a later time.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. When that smut get in your name, you're supposed to clean that shit up as soon as possible. That's a red flag. Did you do it? I could put you on the phone with my co-defendants did you do it? I'll talk about it later. Nigga, just say you didn't do it if you didn't do it. Why is it so much? Just to say, nah, bro, I didn't do it. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
He wanted to have his co-defendants present to apparently kill everything at once. So I asked him, is the paperwork real? Because if it is, they ain't gonna give a fuck about what the co-defendants
even if
say.
they told you to tell.
The paperwork would state back in 2011, a home invasion took place. Officers would locate 3 juveniles, one of which was a then 15-year-old BRIZZ, and the other a 15-year-old named Johnny Ward.
I see what's
BRIZZ
going
and
on.
Ward would be identified by witnesses and taken into custody, while the third juvenile
Yeah, face
was
test at
released.
15? Damn.
At the Fort Myers Police Department, both BRIZZ and Ward would be interviewed, and post Miranda, Ward would state that he, BRIZZ, and 2 others went to the home of a weed dealer to steal his weed and money. Ward told investigators BRIZZ went to the door and made contact with the victim. He said the other 2 and himself stood as lookouts until BRIZZ came back out with the victim's property. So at this point, Ward not only admitted to the plan, he said everyone played a role, but mainly placed the blame on BRIZZ as being the one who actually did the home invasion. BRIZZ would be interviewed by investigators next. BRIZZ would state he was at Ward's house with 3 others. He advised Ward said, "Let's do this," and they went to the victim's house. He advised he rushed the victim with another person, but said he didn't have a gun and only told the victim he did. BRIZZ then advised everyone went inside the house and took the victim's property.
Yeah.
So while Ward only said BRIZZ did the home invasion, BRIZZ said they all
So that's
did.
worse than what Buddy said a little bit. But I think it was on some shit where it was like he was 15, you a minor, he don't never think it's gonna come out. His record should be sealed. But I'm trying to see what Florida law is, or if he did something that would unseal what he did.
Looking back at the victim's report, the victim stated a masked Hispanic pointed a gun at him demanding money when 3 others came into the house. So it would seem Ward lied to police to protect himself and blamed BRIZZ, while BRIZZ told the truth and said everyone did it. Both Ward and BRIZZ named Braha Fields and Kiera Florence in their interviews. Fields had been released because the victims didn't recognize him, and Kiera had temporarily got away. But with Ward and BRIZZ's statements naming Kiera's picture would later be shown to the victim
That
days
looked like a
later,
nigga.
where he confirmed she was one of the 4 that he saw inside of his house.
Wait.
Because
So
of
the
that,
so the wait.
she
Oh,
later
okay,
be-
I just caught this too. So the weed dealer is telling the police that he got robbed. You just told the police you sell drugs? What the fuck?
Arrested. Ward would be sentenced to 3 years in prison, BRIZZ would be sentenced to 4, but Kiera would get it the worst. As part of BRIZZ's plea deal, BRIZZ would agree to testify truthfully and consistently with the proffer he gave against Kiera.
How the hell she
Now, a
do the
proffer is a
least
sit-down
amount?
meeting between
Bro,
the
this is
defendant
shit I
and
be
his
talking
attorney.
about. How the hell she do the least amount of shit and got the most amount of time, and you did a
in the state. So in this case, BRIZZ sat down with the state and gave evidence against Kiera in return for
ain't
a
that some
lesser sentence.
bullshit?
What's crazy is my co-defendant did the same thing. He gave a proffer against me and got lesser time. I got a letter while in confinement at the county jail stating my co-defendant was now a state witness, and Kiera would receive the same letter stating BRIZZ was a state witness against her. She'd eventually be sentenced to 6 years and 3 months in state prison, as she was 18
Damn,
at the
that's
time
why
of the
she got
home
it the worst.
invasion, while BRIZZ and Ward were 15. But this was just the first case. A second case would state that after BRIZZ was released from prison in 2015, he was riding passenger in a vehicle that was pulled over. A firearm was found, along with marijuana,
that the actual gun?
so BRIZZ and the female driver were handcuffed and read their rights. Both agreed to speak, and BRIZZ would state the firearm was not his, it was the female's.
This nigga love putting blame
He
on the
advised
girls,
he understood
bro.
why the vehicle was stopped and that he was not wearing his seatbelt. He also stated he had just got into the vehicle a few minutes prior and he noticed the vehicle smelled like marijuana. While at the jail, BRIZZ advised the detective the firearm was behind the driver's seat, implying it was behind the female driver. When asked if his DNA would be on the firearm, BRIZZ would say he wasn't sure. The female would also speak with officers saying she was unaware that the firearm and marijuana was in the vehicle.
As she should.
She stated that she
Lame
believes
ass
they weren't
nigga.
in the vehicle until she gave BRIZZ a ride to the store, and she didn't smell marijuana prior to him getting in the car. When asked what BRIZZ was doing when they were pulled over, she'd say she was concentrating on driving and didn't see. Now, like I said, I texted BRIZZ asking if the paperwork was real, and the next day he'd call me saying it was, with his own explanation.
What?
But I didn't want to hear it, because a phone call with me meant nothing. The narrative was less about him snitching and more about me being the so-called king of paperwork. It would be alleged that I must have known about his cases and covered it up for him, that I was selective politicking, and that I must have known he snitched, but because we were friends, I didn't
Get on
expose
his ass,
him.
Jake.
On June 8th, BRIZZ would FaceTime me with his co-defendants. He'd show me him with them, and Ward would take the phone saying the whole thing was being made into something it wasn't, and saying he wanted BRIZZ to tell investigators there wasn't a gun. But I'm guessing Ward didn't know I saw the paperwork, where Ward clearly tried to blame everything on
So why
BRIZZ.
is he? So
KeeReacts
look,
would
this
then
is what I be
speak.
talking about. Boom. A nigga tried to put the blame 100% on you and basically get you smacked up, and you still chilling with the nigga after you get out of jail. You niggas is weird, bro. What the fuck? If a nigga try to get you slammed on a home invasion, bro. Like I said, I don't know Florida law. I'm not in Florida. But bro, a home invasion can get you like a dub. He just tried to put it all on you and you hanging with him. Bro, this is why your rap career did not take off how it's supposed to. This is why you kept going to jail. Stupid shit like this.
And the first thing she said to me was, when BRIZZ snitched on me, I don't even consider that snitching. It was so long ago and everyone was young. Now that right there was crazy as hell to hear, because she really wasn't helping
He
his
snitched
case
on me, but
at
I don't
all.
care. We was kids.
She continued on saying she was the one that had them in the streets.
It don't matter.
Like I said before, it didn't really matter what they said because the paperwork said enough. I'd end up repeating what I originally told BRIZZ to them. Telling me about y'all's case is nothing because I'm not BRIZZ's lawyer. I'm not here to defend him. The best thing y'all can do is make a video explaining y'all's side. I already told BRIZZ I wouldn't be using my platform to defend him because it was on him to explain it. I told him me giving him the luxury of using my platform would be biased, and if I gave him that opportunity, I'd have to give it to every other rapper I've exposed. The next day, I'd ask him if he was going to make a video claiming the air. He said he would, but he was still waiting on his co-defendants to make a video. He'd send me a video of Ward explaining things and keep texting me. And I'd tell BRIZZ he really just needs to address it, and he'd swear he would. I'd send him 4 videos people made alleging I covered his case up, and yet again he'd say he was making a video to clear up everything, but it would take a week. I'd tell him that's a long ass time to wait, and there's no point in waiting because whoever is looking into him most likely already requested his interrogation, body cam, proffer, and whatever else they can get. I'd tell him the video he was waiting to make was for him, and that I want my name cleared. At this point, I wasn't trying to read everything he was saying. He'd say he'd send me a video, and I told him don't send it to me, post it. To me, it seemed like he was avoiding addressing the allegations because he knew he fucked up.
He was trying to figure out what
He'd
he
even
was gonna
spoke
do.
to a friend of mine saying he felt like these things would eventually be brought up, which was crazy for me to hear because he knows who I am. He knows what I do, and he never told me about it until after it was exposed. But what bothers me most is a week would pass and BRIZZ still hadn't addressed it. BRIZZ still hadn't cleared my name.
See, so then
This video was a clear
so
reflection of everything I did for him, everything I put him onto, and everything that could have been. So to realize he wouldn't clear my name because he didn't want to publicly accept his paperwork, it was disappointing. Because out of everything I could have charged him for, I felt like he at least owed me that. I told him I wouldn't be making a video on what took place, but he needed to address it. And now here I am making the video. Because at the end of the day, I have my own name to defend,
also,
along
this is
with
recent.
my own brand. So ties between me and BRIZZ are officially cut. And once again, the rumors that they tried to put against me are shot down. I was making videos about BRIZZ within a year of starting my channel. It wouldn't transfer over to covering rappers' paperwork until another year after. I never had a reason to look into his old cases aside from the murder, and the majority of rappers I've exposed for snitching were exposed by someone within their own city who then sent the paperwork to me. My platform just brought it to light. But at the end of the day, people who don't like me or the success I've found will say whatever they can against me until the day that they die, because there's not much else that they can do. So now they want to look into everyone around me and try to come up with a conspiracy that can be used against me. But hey, it's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all and y'all rocking with me. Till next time.
I mean, I can see where he coming from, man. Like you done put your blood, sweat, and tears, and you going over and beyond for somebody, and he low-key fucking you over. He keep going to jail on stupid shit. You know, fucking your face up in the business world where it's real money involved. And things like he's sending you on No Jumper to get interviewed by Adam. He not anybody else on there. He's sending, like, that's like going to Vlad TV and getting interviewed by Vlad. Not everybody he has on there. Like that's a big thing. You taking up a very important person's time. Both of them, Adam and 1090J, because you know 1090 was gonna go out there with him 9 times out of 10. So it was just like, bro, I wonder how long he thought it was gonna be until his paperwork got exposed. Now, in the video, the first one, I still don't understand how that one got out. He was a minor. It should have been, you know what I'm saying, sealed. He was 15, unless they charged him as an adult. But if you charge him as an adult, I think they gave him a burglary charge, right? I don't know, bro. This nigga's tripping, bro. But he told twice, so he probably told a third time too, if they could find it. With all the times he done been to jail. And with that being said, man, don't believe everything you see on the internet. Don't believe everybody that you think is all street this, street that. They really living like this, that, and third, bro. If you keep getting out of jail somehow, some way, bro, you got to tell, bro. And Shawty talking about some, I don't care that he told on me we was kids. Shawty, you was 18 and went to jail for 6 years. You came back out at like 24, 25. You wasn't no fucking kid. But, hey, it is what it is, man. That's the story of King BRIZZ, you know what I'm saying? The rise and falls after the paperwork is exposed. I ain't gonna cap. Your boy said he wasn't gonna drop no video on you if you would have just owned up to what you did, but you ain't want to do it. And that's what come behind this shit, man. So I ain't gonna keep talking y'all head off. Y'all already know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy Key checking in, checking out. We gone.